Just forgot about the drive-by. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Brian K. McNeil, the sales confidence coach. I know I do not own the rights to this music, but I like this music to start my show off because this is how we do it. My name is Brian K. McNeil, the sales confidence coach, and today we're going to talk about one of the bugaboos. Today on our podcast, we're going to talk about your price is too high, or you cost too much, and that annoying little objection. Your price is too high. How do we handle that? That's what we're going to talk about today. And this has been one of the most common objections that has bothered entrepreneurs since the beginning of the time when entrepreneurs and business people started to buy and sell, just from the beginning. Classic stories. There's so many stories. There's so many examples of your price is too high and how to overcome it. One of the classic examples, one of the classic stories around price, guy goes into the town and there's two butcher shops right across the street from each other, two meat stores right across the street from each other. One has a sign saying steaks are $12 a steak. The other sign has steak, $8 a steak. He goes into the one that has $8 steaks and says, let me get a couple of those $8 steaks. And the guy says, we don't have any anymore. Okay. So he goes across the street because he wants steak. He goes in there and says, I want some steak, but you guys are $4 more expensive than the guy across the street. And he says, well, why didn't you buy it from them? Because he doesn't have any. Okay. Can you get a lot and pay a little? Can you pay a low rate or a low price and get great quality and great value? No, you can't. It's not possible to get a whole lot and pay a whole little. You're going to pay a little bit more to get something good. So you're an entrepreneur, you offer your services, and you quote your rates, and they say your price is too high. What do you do? What do you do when they say your rates are too high? What do you do when they think you cost too much? What do you do? Here's what you do. I'll teach you what to do today. This will be an easy one to have a guest on with me today, but next time we will. So if they ever say anything alluding to your price is too high or you're too expensive, here's the first thing. The first thing is don't believe them when they say it. That's right. Don't believe them when they say that they think your rates are too high, because they don't. Okay. Don't believe them when they say they don't have any money, because they do. Yes, I'm saying to you, just choose to not believe that. Choose to believe that they do have money. Do you want the cheapest thing you can find yourself or no? No one wants the cheapest thing they can find. They want the best overall value. So I have some pet ways that I like to handle that one. Your price is too high, and I'm just going to give it to you. First thing I wanted to give you is the 4 chances you get to overcome an objection. Because you get times to overcome an objection. An objection, the way I define it, is an excuse for not buying from you. That's what I call it. It's just an excuse. It's not valid condition. It's just an excuse. So you get 4 chances to handle that excuse, 4 chances to handle that objection. The first chance you get is before it comes up. Second chance you get is when it comes up. The third chance you get is after it comes up. And the fourth chance you get is never. Now, when do you believe is the best time to overcome an objection? I will tell you, the best time to overcome an objection is before it comes up. Of course, it's easy to agree that the best time to overcome an objection is before it comes up. But how can you possibly overcome an objection before it comes up? Some people would knee-jerk and say, well, anticipate. But here's the right answer. And that's not a bad answer, anticipate what the objections might be. But the correct answer, the way to overcome an objection before it comes up, is by you bringing up the objection yourself. You bring up your most common objection before your potential client can bring it up. You bring it up. So if your most common objection is Your rates is too high. You bring it up before they do. Here's how I do it. Mrs. Jones, very often I'm talking with someone and they see great value in my services and they may want to use my services, but sometimes the amount of money that I charge gets in their way. Sometimes the amount of money I charge is cost prohibitive, even though they really need my services. They want it, but they say they don't do it because of the money. Now, that will not be a problem for us today because I do have a way to make this fit pretty much anyone's budget. And so that won't be a problem for you and I today. Fair enough? Fair enough. So what that basically got them to agree to was, even my rates are high, they're willing to hear out my options on how to pay for it, where I can extend the term, I can do less work, I can do a smaller package. Money should be your favorite objection. That should be your favorite objection because money is the thing that you can do the most with. Most of the time, money is going to be your objection, but it won't be your objection unless you make them say it's the objection. So you got to get them to say, if it wasn't for money, they'd be doing it right now. Okay? To that end, I will teach you the 5 steps to overcoming any objection. That's right. This is some old school training. You get 4 chances to overcome an objection. And once you decide to handle it, there are 5 basic steps to overcoming any objection. The 5 steps to overcoming any objection, particularly your price is too high. Step number 1, you hear them out completely. Your price is too high. You offer your services and they say, well, your price is too high. You hear them out completely and do not interrupt them while they're objecting. Because if you interrupt someone while they're actively objecting to your offer, that causes them to repeat that objection. And if they're repeating that objection, they may convince themselves that that objection may actually have some legs, and it actually does not. So when someone is objecting to what you're offering, hear them out completely, don't interrupt them, and slowly count to 3 in your head before you respond. 1001, 1002, 1003. That slow count in your head does a couple of really good things for you. One is it helps you to come across as a listener and as a thinker. And it should come across that way because you are. And the second good thing it does for you is it ensures that we're not just pausing long enough to catch our breath, because they may have more stuff they want to say. And if they have more stuff they want to say, you want to hear that too. So step 1 in the 5-step process to overcoming any objection is to hear them out completely and do not interrupt them. Step number 2 in the 5-step process to overcoming any objection is to feed it back. That means to repeat back their objection to them, but in the form of a question that you can handle. Hear it out completely, and let's say your price is too high, 1001, 1002, 1003, much slower than that. So what you're telling me is you can see how my services help you, and you're interested in my services, but right now the money that it takes is a little bit high for you or more than what you have. Is that right? They'll go, right. Is that what they said? Nope. They said your price is too high. Is that what they agreed to? Yes. What I did was I reframed their objection in the form of a question that helps me. Your price is too high. So what you're telling me is that you can see value in my services, but the money that it takes to get it is higher than what you're wanting. Is that what you're telling me? Yes, that's exactly what I mean, Brian. Now, at this point, I already think I'm going to close this sale as soon as they agree to my reframing of their objection. Step number 3, you isolate the objection. Isolate it. Is there anything else that's keeping us from working together today? Is there anything else that's keeping us from enjoying these benefits? Is there anything else that's getting in the way? Because sometimes it might be something else. It might be money, and it might be time and implementation. It might be manpower, but it could be. But the smartest client you're ever going to get is going to have 2. No one's ever going to have 3 reasons not to work with you, ever, ever, ever. Challenge that. So let's say, nope, that's the only reason. Isolated. Is there anything else? Nope, that's the only reason. Because what you don't want to do is overcome that objection, and then they give you another one. And then you overcome that other one, and then they give you another one. So don't play that game at all. Just the first objection. Is there anything else that's keeping us moving forward other than that? Good. If they say that's it, now you go to step 4. Step 1 is to hear it out completely, don't interrupt. Step 2 is to feed it back, but in the form of a question. Step 3 is isolate the objection. And step number 4, now you do your cool stuff. Step number 4 is now you offer your solutions to the objection. Now you offer your solutions. Now you offer them, can we do a smaller package or a longer term or something like that, or less money up front or more money up front and less terms, something. Now you can be cool with it. Step 4 is now when you offer them your cool solutions to the objection. If they said your price is too high and you jump right to, well, we offer terms, okay? We offer monthly terms to make it easy. You're skipping 2 steps and you're not likely to close it that way. And then once you've offered your solutions in step 4, step 5 is where you simply ask for the business. It's a very, very important step that most people who don't understand sales, they skip over. They forget that you have to formally ask for what you want. Can we get this started? Will you write me a check? Can we earn your business? Can we move forward? Can we give these services a try? You have to formally ask for what you want. Now that's a 5-step process to overcoming any objection. There's some more ways I like to have fun with your price is too high. Now, be careful how you deliver these responses I'm about to give you, because if you don't deliver them well, they can come across as combative or argumentative. But one thing they say, your price is too high, Brian. I like to say, compared to what? Compared to what? Or compared to who? My rates are high compared to what? Compared to not doing anything at all? Compared to using the cheapest guy who's not going to be effective? Compared to what are my rates too high? Ask them that question and get an answer. Most of the time, they won't have a good answer at all. Okay, I like to ask, compared to what, if they say my rates are too high? Here's another thing I like to ask when they start to throw money up as an objection. I like to say this. If you don't do this, what will you do? I love that question. If you don't do this, what will you do? And wait for an answer. See, because the option becomes either take your solutions and take your benefits, or not take your solutions and not take your benefits. If you don't do this, what will you do? So today we talked about a nuisance objection. Your price is too high. And I told you guys, never believe it. Don't believe them when they say it. Don't buy into it at all, because your rates are not too high. Don't ever believe them when they say they don't have the money either, because that's not true. People with no money at all still can find money for what they want. I talked to you guys about the 4 chances you get to overcome an objection: before, when, after, and never. When we talked about the most important one, which is before, I gave you guys the 4 chances, and I even gave you a simple, old school 5-step process to overcoming any objection. Hear it out. Don't interrupt. Feed it back in the form of a question. Isolate it. Now offer your solutions and simply ask for the business. Okay, my name is Brian K. McNeil. I know these podcasts I give. This is called the Sales Confidence Podcast. And I know these podcasts that I give immediately actionable content that you can use to benefit you and your business right away. I'll see you guys next Tuesday on the Sales Confidence Podcast.